الآفة التاسعة عشر. Defect number 19. الغفلة عن دقائق الخطأ في فحوى الكلام. To be heedless of subtle mistakes that one can make when speaking. لا سيما فيما يتعلق بالله وصفاته, especially in connection with matters of metaphysics, the divine nature and his attributes. ويرتبط بأمور الدين. This is something that relates specifically to religious matters. فلا يقدر على تقويم اللفظ في أمور الدين إلا العلماء. Only the scholars are able to speak well about matters of religion. العلماء الفصحاء, articulate scholars. فمن قصر في علم أو فصاحة لم يخلو كلامه عن الزلل. So whoever's knowledge or eloquence is inadequate or defective, his speech will be prone to errors. لكن الله تعالى يعفو عنه لجهله. But Allah, inshallah, will forgive him because of his ignorance. ما قال حذيفة قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لم يقل أحدكم ما شاء الله وشئت لا يقل أحدكم. So the Holy Prophet said, none of you should say ما شاء الله وشئت. Allah willed it and I willed it. It's an expression that is periodically heard in Arabic. ولكن وليقول ما شاء الله. Let him instead just say ما شاء الله and then ثم شئت. So this is the Holy Prophet himself making this same point. You shouldn't say Allah willed and I willed it. You should say Allah wished for such a thing and then I wished for it. You introduce a word between them. وذلك لأن في العطف المطلق تشريكا وتسوية. And that's because putting them together is associating the divine with oneself and implicitly equating them. وهو على خلاف الاحترام, and this is at the very least disrespectful. And again he gives some other examples of this defect of the tongue which pertains to inarticulate people or non-experts talking about subtle metaphysical things. He acknowledges this as a danger. And finally, we've reached number 20, Al-Afatul Ishrun, the 20th defect, which is a kind of corollary of the 19th. سؤال العوام عن صفات الله تعالى وعن كلامه وعن الحروف وأنها قديمة أو محدثة. Questions from ordinary, non-scholarly Muslims about the divine attributes and about his speech and about the letters of the Quran. Are they uncreated or are they created? ومن حقهم الاشتغال بالعمل بما في القرآن. What is appropriate for them is to be busy with acting upon the Quran. إلا أن ذلك ثقيل على النفوس. But unfortunately that's heavy for the egos. والفضول خفيف على القلب. But idle talk is easy for the heart. والعامي يفرح بالخوض في العلم. And an ordinary person tends to love diving into scholarship. إذ الشيطان يخيل إليه أنه من العلماء. So that the shaitan deceives him into thinking that he too is a scholar. ومن أهل الفضل, and is a person of religious merit. ولا يزال يحبب إليه ذلك حتى يتكلم في العلم بما هو كفر. And the shaitan continues to make this delicious for him until he starts to talk about the religious sciences in a way that actually includes expressions of kufr. وهو لا يدري, and he simply doesn't know. وكل كبيرة يرتكبها العامي فهي أسلم له من أن يتكلم في العلم. Whatever mortal sin an ordinary Muslim might commit is less dangerous and is safer for him than to talk about technical matters of religion. لا سيما فيما يتعلق بالله وصفاته, especially issues of metaphysics, anything to do with the divine nature and attributes. وإنما شأن العوام الاشتغال بالعبادات والإيمان بما ورد به القرآن. What is right for ordinary Muslims is to busy themselves with worship and to believing with believing in what is stated in the Quran, وَالتَّسْلِيمُ لِمَا جَاءَ بِهِ الرُّسُلُ, and simply to acquiesce in what the messengers have brought, مِنْ غَيْرِ بَحْث, without going into them in depth. وَسُؤَالُهُمْ عَنْ غَيْرِ مَا يَتَعَلَّقُ بِالْعِبَادَاتِ سُوءُ أَدَبِ مِنْهُمْ, and for them to question about things other than what is sort of basically necessary in their ibadah is discourteous in them. يَتَعَرَّضُونَ لِخَطَرِ الْكُفْرِ, and by doing so they expose themselves to the danger of disbelief. وَهُوَ كَقَوْلِ سَاسَةِ الدَّوَابِ عَنْ أَسْرَارِ الْمُلُوكِ. It is like a camel or donkey drover asking about the secrets of kings. وَهُوَ مُوجِبٌ لِلْعُقُوبَةِ, which could well cause the king to punish them. وَكُلُّ مَنْ سَأَلَ عَنْ عِلْمِ الْغَامِضِ لَمْ يَبْلُغْ فَهْمُهُ تِلْكَ الدَّرَجَةِ. Whoever asks about some subtle and obscure scholarly thing and his understanding has simply not reached that degree, فَهُوَ مَذْمُومٌ, he is to be condemned. فَإِنَّهُ بِالْإِضَافَةِ إِلَيْهِ عَامِي, because he is in relation to that an ordinary person. So even if you're a scholar, you're an alim, and you're trying to get into some really obscure interpretation of Ibn Arabi, for instance, you should know that that's reprehensible if you haven't studied that, and you are in that particular ilm, that particular science, not considered a scholar. You are just an ammi, just an ordinary Muslim. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ذروني ما تركتكم فإنما هلك من كان قبلكم بكثرة سؤالهم واختلافهم على أنبيائهم. Those who came before you were destroyed only because of their many questions and their endlessly going back to in questions to their prophets. ما نهيتكم عنه فاجتنبوه وما أمرتكم به فأتوا منه ما استطعتم. Whatever I forbid you, avoid, and what I command you to do, obey those commandments as much as you are able. With that very important point, because nowadays in particular the boundary between authorized and unauthorized religious discourse has been almost abolished, and some major scholar might appear on a YouTube clip, for instance, talking about Al-Juwayni's arguments for the ontological status of the letters of the Quran, and immediately within a day every last kebab seller from Marrakesh has put his opinions on there, and you can see this is a real defacement. Somebody sent me just 2 days ago a video clip on YouTube of Sheikh Ali Jum'ah, the former Mufti of Egypt, talking about whether or not a wali is infallible, and he said no, a wali is not infallible. It's theoretically possible that a wali can sin and that he could possibly slip and commit a sin. And immediately all of these wild people start to attack him, saying, oh, he's saying that once you're a wali, it doesn't matter if you commit a sin. Complete misunderstanding. And there's already 60,000 hits on that particular out of context clip. And this is a real plague. We've lost our respect for the ulama, and we think that we can make things up for ourselves, and that everybody is now mujtahid. Everybody is authorized to have the definitive opinion on everything that might be historically debated or subtle. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put us in our places and to help us to find the peace of mind and the serenity of heart that comes from humility. And this is a great gift, and not to feel put out or inadequate because we haven't studied something, we don't know something, and simply to say, I don't know, rather than allow the nafs to have its way and to pretend that we have a view on a particular subject, because that's lethal. And that's exactly the afa, the defect, the 20th defect, which Imam al-Ghazali is talking about. What you don't see in the comments after the YouTube clip is Allahu A'lam or La Adri, I don't know. Nobody any longer in the Ummah seems not to know anything. We've all become allama, all become a great scholar. And this is one of the fitnas of our time, and it's foretold in the hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.